Hi children, welcome back to our second part of the lesson 11, force and pressure. In first section we already studied pressure, then effects on pressure, then exploring forces, then interaction of forces. In this section we study force are two types. What are they? Contact forces and non-contact forces. Then contact forces already studied. Then what is non-contact forces? Non-contact forces are those forces which come into an action without any contact with one another. That means non-contact force which come into an action without any contact with one another. Then once more, what is non-contact force? Non-contact forces are those forces which come into an action without any contact with one another. In non-contact forces are of three types. The first is magnetic force and gravitational force and electrostatic force. Then magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. First, now let us study magnetic force. Magnetic force means two magnets attracts or repel. Then magnets attraction of north to south. Then magnets repels south to south. These are the force. Then once more, magnets attracts north to south. Then magnets repels south to south. Then next is electrostatic force. The force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. That means it is the force on charged body to uncharged body. Example, we rub a straw rub on paper and it is showing another straw. What happened there? These purpose attract to another straw. Then in your then scale is rub on our hair. Then to attract the small paper pieces. What happened? This paper piece attract on scale. Then next is gravitational force. Gravitational force, objects or things fall towards the earth because it pulls them. To represent gravitational force. Example, we have to throw stoning upward. What happened? This stone is returned back to the earth. That earth is catch the upward thing. That means leaf is fall down the earth. That means due to the gravity. Then gravitational force, objects or things fall towards the earth because it pulls them. That means gravitational force. Then any object you throw upside, it will return back to the earth. It is the action of gravity. Then once more, what is non-contact forces? Non-contact forces are those forces which come into an action without any contact with one another. Three types of forces: magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. Magnetic force represents attraction of two poles, north pole and south pole. Electrostatic force, the force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. Then gravitational force, objects or things fall towards the earth because it pulls them. Children, now let us study about pressure. What is pressure? The force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. Then what is pressure? The force acting on a unit area of a surface. Then how to calculate pressure? Pressure is equal to force by area. What is force by area? Then how to calculate the force? Area into pressure. And how to calculate area? Area is equal to force by pressure. Then what is the unit of pressure? Pressure is SI unit of pressure is Pascal and force SI unit of force is Newton. Then next, pressure exerted by liquids and gases. Pressure exerted by liquids and gases. That means then beaker B. A and B. In beaker A containing low level water and beaker B containing high level water. In downside one hole there. Then which beaker can flow easily downside water? Beaker B. Why? Then the expert pressure depends on the walls of the container or the depth of the container or of the water. That means liquid container is high, the pressure is high. That means a liquid exerts pressure on the walls of walls containers depends on height of liquid or level from water. Then next gas. Then the liquid exerts pressure on the walls of its container. A gas exerts pressure on the walls of the container. Next is atmospheric pressure. Atmosphere. What is atmosphere? Envelope of air is called atmosphere. Envelope of air is called atmosphere. Then pressure exerted by air is a atmospheric pressure. That means pressure exerted by air is a atmospheric pressure. That means the pressure inside our bodies is always equal to the atmospheric pressure and balance the pressure from outside. That means atmospheric pressure and our bodies equal to the atmospheric pressure. That means in example, then one man moving on mountain region, then state low level and the high level. Then some people climbing on rocks, mountaineering times they are not bleeding there. Why? In low level atmospheric pressure is high, in upside atmospheric pressure level is low. Then there were no bleeding. Then atmospheric pressure, due to the weight of air present in the atmosphere, atmospheric pressure also acts in the all the directions. In sometimes porters in load carrying people on a railway station, porters place a round piece of clothes covered his head when they have to carry load. Why? Due to the enlarged area of the due to the pressure on the head. Then sometimes once more I say, mountaineers usually suffer from nose bleeding at high altitudes. Why? Since the atmospheric pressure becomes much less at higher altitudes than the blood pressure of our body. As the blood pressure is at higher pressure than outside pressure, due to which some of the blood vessels in the body of mountaineers at high altitude get burst and bleeding take place. Then in sometimes the porters usually cover his head by thick round cloths before carrying the load. These reducing pressure on the head, so the porters carry heavy loads easily. And in our day-to-day life, application of pressure in our daily life, sharp knife cuts better than the blunt knife because the sharpness of the knife. Understood this question? Then we this lesson finish. In this lesson we mainly study force, effects on force, then two types of force, contact force and non-contact force. Then study pressure, then pressure exerted by liquid gas and atmospheric pressure. Okay.